Hello, beautiful beings, and welcome back to the Crow's Nest. Welcome if you are new. We are a spiritual all of mind community learning as we grow along our ascension path. We're going to get into a message for what it is that we need to be aware of and focusing on. This is going to be a timeless collective message, so it might not resonate for everyone, but it is intended for you if it does resonate at the time that it finds you. We're going to go over some things that came through before we get into the tarot, just some channelings that I had leading up to the message. So let's just dive right in. For whatever reason today, I felt compelled to do some numerology on today's date. I guess continuation from yesterday's message. And the number for today is 3. So speaking all about harmony, alignment, well, not harmony, but I said that. Alignment was what I meant to say. And also something about a catalyst. The other thing was, for some reason, the number 22 was going to be significant today. Also, the date is the 22nd. And going back to yesterday's message, now, my messages, although they are timeless messages, they tend to be a continuation from the day before. So if you follow me on a daily basis, you'll tend to notice that it's just like a kind of like a storyline that plays through. Some words that came through in yesterday's message that didn't make sense to me at the time, but I actually Googled them. So something that I was hearing was stapping, and I actually looked into it, and stapped, S-T-A-P-E-D, this has to do with a connection to the ear, something to do about a bridge within the ear canal. And so I thought that was really significant because in yesterday's message, we were talking significantly about hearing messages from your high council, right? From your angels, your ancestors, your spirit team, your guides, all of that. The other thing that I was hearing in the message, I wrote down in the night, and I Googled that, of course, as well. And I actually found, and there was also those little mermaid vibes, right? So I wrote those down, I Googled it, and I did find a song by Jimmy Buffett called Mermaid in the Night. And just, you got to listen to the song. It just really made me think about yesterday's message. It was one of those situations where, as I was hearing the song, I wish I had Googled it during the reading, because it just connected so wonderfully. While listening to that song, I then started to get Page of Cups vibes. So something is coming in. There's going to be like intuitive messages along your path. But once again, there's just something about not receiving the messages. There's been such high guidance in regards to finding ways to hear the messages. I'm also hearing crack the code, which is interesting because I call numerology like codes. So there's something there for whoever this is resonating with. But yeah, so there's just something about this need to connect to your higher team. I'm also hearing the higher realms. Something else that I was getting was covered in green. And in yesterday's message as well, I was getting something about the heart chakra. So I was picking that up again. And then as I was thinking about connecting covered in green with the heart chakra, I started hearing larger than life. Now I wrote that down earlier, but now that I'm saying it over again, I'm looking at it, I'm hearing the song Larger Than Life by the Backstreet Boys. Haven't heard that in a long time. Some numbers that are going to be really significant today, 2, 4, 6, 3, and 7. And then sure enough, as I was getting ready with the cards, I saw number 34 come through with the Earth Warriors deck. That's Alakoa, Spirit of the Warrior. So there's something, in yesterday's message, I was saying something about like new Earth Warriors or land defenders. I was getting that vibe. And then interesting enough as well, I felt drawn to put the Hope Jasper Stone on that deck. So talking all about grounding. So there's just really something about the work that you do in order to defend Earth, the new Earth, people, life of Earth, something along that line, okay? And then again, I was getting more about higher self, about enlightenment. I was realizing that butterflies and flowers are going to be significant again today. And then as I was writing down flowers, I started to think about flowers in the attic. So I feel like this is going to be a message that resonates for people who, I don't know too much about that book, but I know a little bit about it. And I definitely resonate with, the journey of having had a difficult start to life. But there's just something about, even though you feel like you've been locked away, you've been isolated, the word abused is coming through, you've still been able to grow and bloom and blossom. And then, of course, with the Seeds of the Sacred Feminine deck, Ask for Guidance came through. I hope I'm still recording. My phone okay, I had a message come through, which is interesting because I said ask for guidance, and then like literally a message like just totally dominated my screen here. Okay, so like there's messages that are coming through for you, but it's almost like you either don't see them, or you're pretending like you don't see them, or I'm hearing dissociation. So maybe you've become so good at dissociating from that you don't want, that it's almost like you don't even recognize things when they're in your face anymore. I'm also hearing in their place. So that's a message about, this is for people who life has been so chaotic for you. And I did get that a few days ago. There was like crisis mode, victim mentality, survival mode. So I was getting something about, because life has been so chaotic for you, that it's like now that you are finding stillness and peace, and rather than isolation, now it's solitude, right? In the past you felt isolated, but now you enjoy that time alone for solitude. You've been able to transmute the energy behind being alone. Where was I getting with that? I feel like I got disconnected from that. Yes, and so now that you're finding that peace and that stillness and that solitude, things are starting to feel uneasy for you, because our body stores memory. Even if we subconsciously are not thinking about the memory, our body remembers those events. And so it's almost like your body is going into a response where it wants to create a situation, because that's what your body is used to. This is on a subconscious level. I don't see you as being someone who stirs the pot. I'm seeing the witch from, what is that, Sleeping Beauty? Where she's stirring the cauldron. Does she dip the apple? I'm seeing something like that. A witch from a Disney movie stirring a cauldron. And it's got like green liquid inside of it, right? That green, that heart chakra energy. There's something that's larger than life. And what I really do feel is that is you. When I was getting in yesterday's message about what's under the surface and what's being brought in, is that soul family. There's your support, your team, relationships, newness. I wish I had the notes in front of me, but you can go back and watch it to see all of what's coming in, what's just below the surface, right? But this larger than life, I feel like that's you. I feel like right now you are this flower in the attic. You are blossoming right now, and you're not seeing it just yet because you haven't fully blossomed yet. It's like when a caterpillar is in a cocoon, he has faith and trust that something's gonna, there's gonna be a greater means to the end, of being in that cocoon, right? Of being in isolation. But he doesn't get to see what's going to happen until he comes out of the cocoon. You know what I mean? And I'm saying so I'm getting some masculine energy as well. The Ask for Guidance card was also on page number 23 in the guidebook. So once again, 2s and 3s are significant today. I also put the hematite stone on that deck. So we're talking about clarity. So once again, there's something about clarity coming in for you. I also feel as well right now like my throat chakra wants to close up a little bit. So there's almost something about you feeling as though you cannot speak your truth, or maybe that's what you are subconsciously dissociating from. Maybe just not setting your boundaries firmly enough, or being firm about the boundaries that you set. That's just what came through. And then also with the tarot, the Chariot card came through in the reverse position. That's number 7. So 7's again significant. I really did feel the energy behind that was about, self-discipline and a lack of direction. It's time to kind of tap back into that inner knowing, that higher knowledge, to listen to the messages and to tune into our intuition, to be able to use those messages and that guidance and support that's coming into us for our highest good. Because if we're just tuning it out, all of those things that are trying to guide us to where we're trying to be, I'm feeling an energy of, there's a sense of frustration because you're not getting where you want to be, but there is so much coming in for you that's trying to help you to get to where you're going, but you're just kind of like, I see someone covering their ears and just like, no, 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 like pretending they don't hear it. And again, I don't feel that that's intentional. And I've talked about this before, and if you are someone who feels as though you're like, well, I don't know how to hear the messages from Spirit, let me know. Send me an email if you want to keep it private, and I can most certainly do a video and talk a little bit more on how it is that we can tune into that assistance coming into us from our high council. And also the 7 of Cups came through. It was in a transitional energy towards the reverse position. So once again, there's something here about alignment, personal values, and being overwhelmed by choices. And personal values, interesting, because I was talking about boundaries. So there is something there, and I feel that once you bring all of that into alignment, stand more firm on your boundaries. We'll look into that later. Yes, and tune into your I feel like it's like a disconnection from your intuition is what I want to keep saying, that has you feeling as though like there's a sense of like a stuck energy. Again, that Chariot in reverse position, right? You want to move forward, but I've been channeling it for a few days now about this feeling halted. So we'll get into the tarot on the message for that and see what more we need to know and be aware of, and some guidance that wants to come through. And I have the granite stone on the deck today, which I was feeling the energy behind balance in relationships. Speaking back to yesterday's message, we talked about, what is underneath the surface, what is coming in, that teamwork, that collaboration, that support, and a sense of celebration too. So let's find out a little bit more. My name's Crystaljoy, Wounded Healer, helping to guide you through the depths of your soul to illuminate the light within. So let's find out a little bit more here. I feel like I want to get 3 cards today. I'm just really feeling that. Just start with 3 cards and see where we go. Every day is different around here. All right. Ooh. Wow. So the Devil in reverse, the Strength in reverse, but also the Queen of Swords in the upright. And I'm saying wow, because I'm like, I definitely channeled that throat chakra, and there's like that feeling as though there wasn't the ability to fully speak your truth. But there's also this energy here about manipulation, but I feel like this is, it has a different energy than the type of manipulation I feel like this is really just a sense of confusion, and the confusion, it's like feeling overwhelmed, and that feeling of overwhelm is what is making you feel confused, and then it puts you in this energy of just negativity, deceit. And I'm hearing again about like yesterday's message about being robbed, like you were scammed. That's it, you were scammed, and you feel that way right now again because and it's interesting because what was it, the granite stone was about balance and relationships, but there was, right, the 7 of Cups in the reverse, going into the reverse, about alignment and personal values, feeling overwhelmed by choices, right? So that's what I'm feeling with this, is that there has been so much overwhelm that it's led to confusion, that now you just feel like you don't know which way that you need to go, and that's making you feel as though there is just so much at play that is against, I'm hearing against your free will. Like some of you maybe even feel like, I don't usually say this kind of stuff, but maybe you feel like there's like some kind of hex on you or some kind of curse that is just like, that's the only logical reason left as to why I can't move forward. That's really interesting, because in yesterday's message I was picking up logical. So it's almost like you feel as though there has been something, like some greater force outside of yourself that has been creating this for you. But I really do feel like, again, with that Chariot card, and it did come out a second time in the upright position as well. I didn't mention that. But this feeling of lack of direction. So I think there really does need to be more self-discipline, and I resonate with that. Today is a day for me where I'm going to sit down and just not only look at the goals and intentions that I have, and not only the actionable steps that I'm going to take, but like a real solid plan, you know, start from the top, say this is where I want to go, and work backwards and look at the steps that you need to take to get there. Because sometimes if we're looking at the goal and we're just trying to get to the goal, it's almost like there's unforeseen circumstances that make us feel like we can't take that next step forward. And so, you know, kind of go backwards in your planning, and that will help to give you a new perspective on the situation and how to move forward. And that really does tie into, was it yesterday's message or the day before? There was something about you had to get a new perspective. Beautiful. And this whole situation with this energy right here is just making you feel as though, again, lack of strength, and you know, we're taking something away from this lion right here. So again, that energy of you just feel like something's being taken from you. But I feel very strongly once again that this has a lot to do with clarity and intuition and speaking your truth. I really do feel that this is a message about, you know, sevens are really significant today as well. Also, my eye is really itchy, so message from spirit, right? Spirit is trying to communicate to me, to you, through me, to get to you, you know what I mean? There is something about, you know, in yesterday's message, this was about being authentic and not being afraid of your gifts and your abilities. This is, I feel, for the people who resonate with the message of feeling as though they have been shielding themselves from their awakening, because there is a sense of fear. It was like you were afraid of your full potential, because you are very powerful. We were talking about Lemuria again yesterday. So very old soul you are, and you have a lot of power. And I know that that's a confirmation, because this flower's in the attic. You know, old souls, the earth warriors, those are the people who have chosen the most difficult of life paths so that they can learn what they need to be able to be the way showers, the guiding posts of this new earth. I'm hearing of the higher ascension. So it's like you kind of had to go through this. You didn't only have to go through this, but I also saw the two swords. This was chosen. You chose this path so that you can help to bring this clarity to others. So I think we'll get a Seeds of the Sacred Feminine to find out what is the main guidance for today's message. I maybe we'll get another tarot, because I really do feel that this is about you connecting to your intuition. And you know, the Queen of Swords is all about logic. We've been seeing a lot of the queens coming through in the past week, and it's interesting because I was feeling masculine energy originally as well. So there could even be a message about, you know, continuing to work on balancing that inner masculine and feminine, and also making sure that you are loving that inner masculine from the place of the inner feminine, right? That's different from loving the inner masculine from the inner masculine. We're talking about, I wanted to say so many things right there. Harmonious union, nurturing the soul, but self-love as well was what I wanted to say. But I just want to get some kind of confirmation here about what is it that we are feeling as though it's not coming through, kind of thing. I wanted to get just 3 cards, but let's see here. What is it that the confirmation? And I also want to take a moment too, because I'm also seeing as well with the Queen of Swords, it's like there's a child in her throne. And that's making me think about the inner child, about the flowers in the attic. Again, feeling as though you've been working really hard, but the things that you are working towards are just not materializing. But this is also a message about the inner work that you have been doing. What I'm really getting is that there needs to be time to recognize your accomplishments and your growth. And there's a message that I'm getting about like what your current self or what your past self wants you to know about who you are today. So, you know, you might feel frustrated in these energies right now, but you know, once again, there is something, I still feel that energy of something is just below the surface. Something is being brought in, and it's something that you're just not going to know about it until it's just kind of right there. And that's making me think about something I was channeling back at the beginning of the message. It's just not coming to me right now, but there is a message about something is it's like kind of like your hand in front of your face sort of thing. And it just brings me back to, again, feeling as though this is yourself. Because what happens when our hand is in front of our face, it's our hand, it's ourself, it's an extension of us. So again, I feel like there is something that, whether you're conscious of it or not, you're choosing to not see, not believe, not tune into. And I'm looking at this message again about larger than life. So let's go ahead and get a seeds from the Sacred Feminine on this. If this is resonating with you, I feel like I'm not getting a clear confirmation on what this is really about. So if you do want more, you can always reach out and we can get you specific answers for your journey. But let's get a seeds of the Sacred Feminine for some guidance on this, and maybe we'll get what we need to know. And again, it's interesting because we're getting a message about, I feel like there's something that is like communications that you're not receiving, and I kind of feel like I'm getting your energy right now, like, why can't I get the message sort of energy. It's like, you know, you should know the answer, but it's just not coming to you. I'm getting like on the tip of your tongue, and then I'm hearing can't catch your tongue, right? And I don't know why I think about cats. I guess there's just something about like a memory from childhood on that for myself. But again, with the hematite stone, speaking about clarity. So let's see if the seeds of the Sacred Feminine give us the clarity that we need for this message. And get some clarity, some guidance for this message. Oh, there it is. So stand barefoot on the earth, right? So this is all about grounding and earthing and allowing Mother Earth to transmute the energies. And, you know, when we do take that time, again, that flowers in the attic energy of, you know, in stillness and solitude, if you're taking time to stand barefoot on the earth, then you're likely in nature and, you know, outdoors and able to hear the birds and look up at the sky, things like that. So there's an energy there about connecting with Mother Earth, allowing Mother Earth to transmute the energy for you, and grounding. We did talk about the Jasper stone. And there's two people on this card. This makes me think about yesterday's message about, early in my channeling, I said I was getting 6 energy and the Lovers came out. I felt like that was about self-care. So I'm getting this again. I feel that when you take time to stand barefoot on the earth, when you just take that time for stillness and solitude for yourself and give that time to Mother Earth, I just feel like that's going to help you to reconnect with your own intuition so that those messages can come in. I just feel like maybe some of you are feeling stuck and stagnant because you've been like actually inside for too long. Flowers in the attic, I'm getting this energy of you just like you've been pent up for too long. You need to like get out, run around, explore, be barefoot, connect with your inner child. I'm also hearing as well. But we will end this with the guidebook and see if that final little nugget of information that I'm feeling is just on the tip of my tongue will come through. And we'll see what else we get. Feeling something about the numerology too. So page 65. So yeah, 6s are significant and 5 is really interesting. That's my personal daily number. So I also do numerology as well. So if you're interested in knowing more about your personal numbers, that's something else we can talk about. So let's get into the message. So you need grounding, grandchild. Let the magnetic nature of the sacred feminine ground the electric ways of the sacred masculine. Take those shoes off and let your feet be free. Walk outside and let the cool grass, soil, or snow touch the soles of your feet. The rhythm of Mother Earth is felt when we stand directly on her being. Remove the layer of rubber from your feet and feel the connection. How does it feel to you? Did you know that the bottoms of your feet are receptors of energy? Mother Earth directs healing energy through your feet when you make contact with her. Squish your toes in the dirt, massage your feet over some pebbles. Let the snow chill the soles of your feet. Walk through the grass and through the evening dew. Let Mother Earth help your thoughts and emotions return to balance. When you get connected to the natural world, you ground your scattered energy, Honor your connection to the planet and she will honor you in return. So I really do feel like that's just a wrap up of everything that I was saying. So I feel like whoever this is for, you probably did get the message and what you needed from this. Please do let me know. But again, if not, I'm always here for you. All my links are in the bio where you can find me. And don't forget to subscribe to be notified when I post next. And I'll see you in my next reading.